that they can see the words good? We have a lot of ground to cover. I'm hoping that everybody can hear everything I'm saying. There's going to be what I've gathered here is a lot of the typical mistakes that you guys made in the papers that you gave to me the other day. So all of these sentences are your own sentences, and I want everybody to see why this sentence is not right, and what to do about it, and how not to do it anymore. Don't do these mistakes anymore. The first one is actually number 58, because I have a whole bunch of other things that other students have written for me. But the first one is this thing describing the city of Da Nang, and I want everybody to look at that sentence for just a second and see, do you see what's wrong with it? And the thing that I want everybody to understand about this sentence is, like every sentence, it has a subject, a predicate, and then everything else that it might have. But the minimum, this is what I want everybody to understand, every sentence in English is a sentence because it has a subject and a predicate. Without these two elements, it's not a sentence. Now in this sentence, what's the subject? The city. Now, no? How about that? Yeah. Okay, so here's the subject. Where does the subject come in the sentence? What's the position of the subject? First thing. Is this in the first place? So what do you need? You at least need a comma. So let's go back and put in this comma before the city, because at the minimum that has to be there. It has, there's your object out along coastline. Now, how many of you like that word "at here"? Hopefully nobody. The word "here" doesn't take a preposition. You don't say "in here," "at here," "on here," no. Or "there." You don't say "at there." I think there's a war happening next door. Try to ignore it. Yeah. So you could theoretically begin this sentence like this. Okay, now it's a sentence. But until then, no, it definitely was not a sentence. But without the comma and with that word "at," it's not a sentence. So remember that about the word "here." If you didn't know that before, write it down, because easily people can make that mistake. Then what I have is sentence number 59. I want you guys to fix this. There's a small but important mistake here. It's a word order. Okay, if you're going to use a phrase like this one, it is one of the top 10. You don't put the here. It's one of the top 10 most beautiful beaches in the world. It is one of the top 10. Actually, write down that sentence. And it'd be one of the most beautiful women in the world. One of the biggest buildings in Ho Chi Minh City. One of the most important people who ever lived. One of the most. That's the way that sentence works. One of the whatever. This was a very confusing sentence. Right. Now, what I want everybody to see is this sentence does not have a grammatical mistake, but it's very unclear what this person actually means. I want to be a football star, but it's not impossible. It would make sense if it was, I want to be a football star, but it's impossible. It's not possible. But it's not impossible. So you kind of have to decide which one it is, just logically. This doesn't, remember, you're not going to work. just take out the im, and now it's a sentence. It makes sense. But it's not impossible. So that means it is possible. So be careful with your double negatives. They're called double negatives, and that makes it positive. Okay, let's take the beginning of the sentence. Right in here. This is also reasons. How should that be? Yeah, if it's reasons, and I want everybody to pronounce the word. Everybody say reasons.
Reasons.
Good, I like the sound of that. Very good. Good, say the end of the word. Good job. Yeah. It's plural, so it can't be this. It has to be these. These. Everybody say these.
These.
It's a very long one because it's a voice. There, these. Can you say these is? Yeah, only if you're a redneck from North Carolina. Only if you're George Bush can you say these is. It should be these are. Yes. Okay, now let's go to the next part. Okay, that's the first sentence. This is one of those long sentences, which is actually different sentences. So the second sentence is, I choose going abroad. How should it be? Okay, I choose to go. You could. And now I will tell you, both work. Okay, everybody ready for this? I'll explain the logic. It can be the way you just said it. I choose to go. Because then the predicate of the sentence is choose to go. Right? Then you have the predicate. Or the predicate can be just the choose, and the object of the predicate is going, a noun. Everybody see that's possible too? So they're both right, but for different reasons. So I can leave it like this, or you can do the to go. You can take your choice. But can you say I choose going? These are the reasons that I choose going abroad. Chose. Why does it have to be chose?
Because you already made that decision.
Yeah, the decision is already made. When do you use the present form? When it repeats. The present form means that something repeats itself. I open the door every morning. I come to school by bicycle every day. It's repeated. But here, well, how many times is he going to make this choice? He made this choice already, so it is in the past. Don't use the present unless you mean that something is repeated over and over again. And in this case, that's not the case. I chose going abroad. And he chose going abroad. Where? To. This person's in Vietnam. It's to. You can't say I'm going in Finland. No, I'm going to Finland. Now Finland is the name of a place. It's a thing. Which. Can't be when, it's got to be which. It's a singular. There's only one. Has. Can't be have. What's a better word than top? High level. Yeah, said high level. It has high, and we can even make it one word. I think you do with that, yeah. Which has high level education. Why is there no article? Good. Education is not countable. So no article. That's absolutely right. Now, this is something that I want all of you to break this habit. Don't use words, don't add words to a sentence if those words are not necessary. Don't make more words just to make more words. Okay, Finland, which has high-level education. Around the world? What do we need that for? That's not necessary. It doesn't give us any more information. This sentence says the same thing without it. So only put things in the sentence which are necessary to understand the meaning. Don't be using too many words. Too many words really sounds cluttered. And it also, a little bit, sounds like bullshit. The person's just trying to use a lot of words. And you don't want your essay to sound like that. No. Because you're not saying where Finland is, and you're not saying where the education is. You're saying that Finland has this education. So it's which. If it was in Finland, I lived in Finland where there is a lot of snow, then it could be. So it's in Finland. Yeah, then where, what? There's a lot of snow. But here, you're not saying in Finland. You're talking about to Finland. You're talking about the name of this country. And that country has high-level education. So as you can see, you can have many mistakes in one sentence. That one had maybe 4 or 5. Okay, the first sentence, what's the subject of the first sentence? What's the predicate? Was usually used. There's the predicate. Was used. What's the object? It's even bigger. It goes all the way to here. It is used for entertainment or outdoor activities for students. And is there a where in this sentence? Nope. But there is a when. So I want everybody to see this is a perfect sentence. This first sentence, nothing that even looks like a mistake in it. Perfect sentence. Then the next one, we have several commas in the next one. So we have however, and I'll tell you this about the word however, it always has to have a comma. Because however, it is not the subject, it's not the predicate, it's not the object, it doesn't tell how, it doesn't tell where, it doesn't tell when. It is none of those. So it's always in an unnatural place. It doesn't matter where you put it. So another example of that is, for example, for example, always has commas. Now, here, however, comma, perfect. In Vietnam, okay, why not? Because it's a comma, there's a comma. This tells where. It's not in the natural place, but that's okay, because it's got commas, so no problem. Then, about 10 years. What is this? This is something something about when. Now, how do you save this idea? Now, 10 years ago would mean that it was then. Okay, but in this case, then she says, or he says, I can't remember, in Vietnam, about 10 years ago until now. And you can't say 10 years ago this event is time for studying. That would be was. So how do we say a period of time that started 10 years ago up until this time? That's it. The last 10 years. Now, if we say the last 10 years, do we need until now? We don't need it. Don't use extra words. Now, I don't like this word event here. Sunday is not an event. This day, it's a day. We're comparing it to Sunday. So, this day is time for studying. Now this is a perfect sentence. I think the writer was thinking, well, Sunday was always a very special day, so it's kind of like an event. But no, an event is an organized thing that happens, like they're having an event over here. Now that's an event. Sunday is not an event. Okay, so what's the subject of this sentence? This day. This day. The predicate, of course, is. The time for studying is what it is. So this day is time for studying the last 10 years of Vietnam. However, you would still have to have one comma because there's a word however. You can't have a sentence with the word however and there are no commas. But now it's a good sentence. You have 3 commas, but it's still a good sentence. Okay. First question. How many sentences is this? Why do you say it's two sentences?
After the word or and one, and then the subject before the word
Okay, so what's the first subject? What's the second subject? First subject is we. There's only one subject in this sentence. How many sentences is there? There's just one. Now, remember what I just said. To have a sentence in English, there must be a subject and a predicate. If you don't have both, it's not a sentence. So in this case, we have one sentence. Now, let me ask another question. How many predicates in a sentence? How many predicates in a normal sentence? One. How many predicates in this sentence? Can you do that? No. You can't do that. You can't have two predicates in the same sentence. So if you want to put in a second predicate, there has to be a second subject. And then you have two sentences. But here, this isn't really two sentences. So we need a motivation or an award. Now, the problem here is that to work is a verb. To go, to eat, to work, to see, to learn. Verb. We don't want a verb here. What's the noun? Working. The noun is working. Now, we still have this thing to. Is that right? What should it be? For. Now there's only one predicate. For working is a noun, and then working how, when. So we need a motivation or an award for working hard when. You can never say all days. You can say all day. He worked all day. But here it's not, it's working hard. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You could say weekdays. That would do it. I'm going to put that because it is possible. That would do it. But I just want everybody, I want everybody to write down all days and put an X over it. You can't say that. But if you need to say that idea, all days, how do you say that? You know this. Every day. Every day. This is the word you're looking for. And it is singular. The word every causes a singular. It's every day. So don't ever write all days. The word is every day. And if you're thinking, yes, but don't they understand if I say all days? Yes, the reader will understand, but somebody else who takes this test will write every day. And that's better than writing all days. And that person gets in and you don't. You don't want that to be the reason you don't get in. Now everybody look at and feel that sentence. And feel this is a correct sentence. And you can feel why. And I hope everybody can feel why for working is right, but to work is not right. To work is a verb, it's a predicate. You can't have two predicates in a sentence. Best way to use our Sunday, who feels what's missing? The best way to use our Sunday is spending time, spending what? Spending has to have an object. Spending it, spending time, there has to be something, there has to be an object. Now it's a sentence. Can you count work? You guys have to speak a lot louder. There's a lot of noise. So what should it be? You can't have a plural of it.